Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are on episode 2 of the Ford F100 build. So today we were working on getting the engine and the transmission moved forward. So our big issue with this is we couldn't get the cab all the way forward where it needed to sit with this frame with the engine and transmission where it was. We needed to get that engine and transmission up 1.5 inches. So I actually already started working on this. I didn't get the camera out, but I figured I'd show you guys what we did and what we had to take care of. So the 460 has offset heads. The driver's side head is back about 1 inch further. I'd say that's about an inch further from the passenger side head. So we had a huge issue with the valve cover and the head touching the firewall. One thing we didn't want to do was modify this firewall at all, because actually right where we would need to modify it, I'll show you, is right where the gas pedal is at. So on that note, we didn't want to modify that if we didn't have to. We want to keep that gas pedal geometry and everything else like it is from factory because it was good. So the nice thing is on this frame, if you look up under here, right there, that's the transmission mount. It actually had a couple holes that we got to choose from. And so originally it was back on that back hole. So I measured out inside there, and when we could move it up to that front hole, we actually gained 1.5 inches, and that's exactly what we needed. So I was able to do that. There was no modification for the transmission mount. It was good to go. We just had to move it forward. But where we end up having to modify was the engine mount. So you can see originally this piece was right here. So what I did is I just took it off, chopped it off flush, and I moved 1.5 inches backwards, kept the same gusset, all that good stuff, and then just welded a nice bead all the way back around there. And that really seemed to just fix everything up perfectly. So as you can see, both sides are good. I don't have all the nuts in there at the moment, just kind of had it all mocked up. So that is where we are at. I am super happy with it. Everything is moved back. I have actually got the cab right now just sitting on some hockey pucks, actually, right there in the front. And in the rear is just got some bolts ran through onto the cab mounts. Next, we are going to jump on is the rear end. I am super happy with how everything is, but what we need to do is I want to add another inch to this lowering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a bracket that comes off this rear end and gives us another hole to come down to. So when we do that another hole, I will measure it out and give ourselves a full inch on that rear end. I already did all the ride height measurements, everything full squat, full height, all the above. The rear end won't touch the C channel here, so we're going to be good there. Everything's going to clearance and give us that little bit of extra clearance that we need. I was getting back at this situation here. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna lower that 1 inch or so. But after thinking about it, I think really the next step, because I want to do that welding with the rear end out of the truck. There's no reason to sit there and try to struggle with it all and good stuff like that. I've done all my pre-measurements. Everything is good to go. So I know I need to come down 1 inch, so I can just pull this rear end completely out and weld that up, and then we can get ready to take it over to the paint shop. So I think the next step is we should get this cab lifted off. We will tear out everything on the frame, get the rear end out of here, get the fuel cell out of there, get the motor and trans out of there, and just get this thing completely tore down so we can get this frame off to Lane over at Cowboys Customs. If we can get that over to him, he can get his job started and just keep this project moving along. Then from there, I will weld up the rear end and get that all done, and then we'll get that over to him after we're done with that. And we got a little public service announcement from Katie.
If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe.
Woo! so we got the frame pretty much as tore down as we could get it, as you guys can see in the time lapse. We've got everything, all the externals off it that we can get for now. So next is we need to get it back on the lift and get the front end tore off, the rear end tore off, get all the parts separated. All our chrome pieces and shocks and stuff like that will go into boxes. They'll go up on the shelf in storage until we're ready to reassemble it. But before we can get this up on the lift, we need to make this cab rollable. We're also gonna go to Harbor Freight real quick and see if they have some of those wood style roller carts. And if those are cheap enough, we might just buy one for each corner, secure it to the bottom, lay it down on that. That way we can roll the cab around. Then we'll get the frame over on the lift, get it tore down, get it loaded into the trailer so we can get it over to Lane's and get that taken care of. We did get the engine out. I just set it down on the floor for a minute. I've got my engine stand ready. So we need to separate the transmission. They had fluid in this thing, which was crazy. I didn't realize that that actually had fluid in it. Most of the time you don't fill things up with fluid until you're closer to starting the engine and stuff. So that was a little crazy. I didn't realize that they had transmission fluid in it. Kind of curious if the engine's got oil in it. So we will check that out, separate it, get it put up on the engine stand, stuff like that. Anywho, we are gonna head off to Harbor Freight, see if we can find some stuff to move this, and we'll be back. Okay, so we got everything tore down. We are ready to load up into the trailer. We're gonna have to reorganize some stuff out in the trailer. All the body panels are kind of just laying down. So we'll probably, I got another trailer on my truck for another situation that's going on. We'll unload that trailer, hook up to this trailer, pull up to the back door, or to the door there, and we'll get some stuff loaded. So all our parts and pieces there. Got the rear end here. Got the whole frame there. I've got the brakes tore down. The knuckles are off it. We are good to go. So I am going to give Lane a call, make sure that we can go ahead and take this stuff over to him, and then we'll start swapping over these trailers. Like I said, I got my trailer hooked up to that. That's another situation, doing a little Christmas gift for a buddy, so we needed that trailer. But yep, like I said, we'll go and organize that one and see if we can get all the stuff loaded up in there. If you guys are enjoying this build or any of the other builds that I've done, if you enjoy our videos, make sure you smash that subscribe button. But man, just seeing that the channel growing, seeing that people are interested in the videos, things like that, it just keeps my motivation up to keep doing it and keep helping people and, you know, teaching what I've learned or what I've learned from messing up, things like that. So I really do appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully you smash that subscribe button.